Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. In the excellent embroidery of American culture, there are stories that rise above the cinematic stories that reverberate with the battles and wins of genuine. One such story is that of the surprising entertainer Angela Bassett, a lady whose life excursion peruses like a novel of versatility and win over misfortune from her initial days to the marvelousness and excitement of Hollywood. Bassett's way has been one of tragic misfortune and unfaltering strength brought into the world in the midst of the clamoring roads of New York. Her process took a startling diversion, guiding her a long way from as a kid. Her reality was affixed by the breaking storm of her folks, separate from projecting her uncontrolled into the consideration of her aunt and uncle. They brought her into their hug when she was nevertheless a delicate multi-month-old, sustaining her through the early stages that were anticipated in the midst of the wild rushes of her early stages. Angela Bassett found comfort in the hug of her mom, who in spite of her own battles imparted in her girl the upsides of pride, assurance, and dignity. These were characteristics that would turn into the bedrock of Bassett's flexibility in the years to come, yet life's process is frequently set apart by preliminaries, and Bassett's way was no exemption. In a fearless disclosure, she shared her difficult experience of enduring rape as a kid with relentless strength. She defied her evil spirits, trusting it. Her mom, and finding the help and strengthening she expected to recuperate this horrendous experience, molded her promotion for survivors and her commitment to bringing issues to light about the significance of accepting and supporting the people who have experienced peacefully the excursion to life. As a parent for Angela Bassett and her significant other Courtney B. Vance was filled with dreams and plagued by preliminary. Their association in 1997 was shaded by the common any desire for becoming guardians anyway. This fantasy drove them through a maze of years damaged by battle and tragedy in a piercing joint meeting on the Oprah Winfrey Show. In 2007, yet again, they exposed their spirits, uncovering the difficult odyssey. They set out on an excursion that tried their purpose as far as possible as they looked to imagine. Normally, years passed and despair turned into their steady friend for 7 long years. They clutched trust while exploring the turbulent waters of ripeness. Through the haziest minutes, their security developed further as they rested on one another for help. Angela Bassett, immovable in her confidence, tracked down the solidarity to endure in spite of the rehashed frustrations. Her soul stayed whole, and she found comfort in the words, "Okay, we should rehash," expressed with assurance. Despite misfortune in the year 2006, their fantasies at last found their wings. Their picked substitute turned into the conductor for whom they invited into their lives the gift of congenial twins, Bronwyn, Brilliant, and Slater, Josiah. It was a snapshot of significant satisfaction, a zenith of their relentless confidence and versatility. Amidst their euphoria, an inquisitive spot of destiny uncovered itself. Courtney B. Vance admitted that 7 years earlier he had longed for twins entering their lives, a dream that had stayed a puzzle until that second exploration of the misleading waters of distinction. Bassett's process was additionally set apart by her obligation to variety and portrayal. Her commitment to her African-American legacy was reflected in her jobs, most prominently as Sovereign Rosemonda in the earth-shattering movie Dark Jaguar. Anyway, the excruciating truth of prejudice saturated her own life, as well as the sad encounters she shared. In 2014, Angela Bassett experienced a lamentable misfortune. Her darling mother, Betty Jane, capitulated to the guileful hold of a cardiovascular breakdown, a staggering takeoff that left a void no words could fill following this significant misfortune. Angela Bassett, the entertainer, whose abilities had graced both screen and stage, pursued a decision that would reverberate a long ways past the domain of Hollywood's stunning lights. She decided to tackle her public stage, her voice, and her impact to bring issues to light around too quiet yet widespread enemies: type 2 diabetes and coronary illness. These were conditions that had contacted the existence of her mom, as they accomplish for innumerable Americans. With unflinching assurance, she set out to teach and rouse, utilizing her popularity not so much for individual addition, but rather for the long-term win. In sincere discussions with Great Morning America, she explained her craving to respect her mom's memory by focusing a light on the dangers of these medical problems. Her words were not simply a decree, but rather a source of inspiration, a request for people to regard the murmurs of their own well-being and treat their prosperity in a serious way as the story of Dark Puma kept on. Unfolding 2018 carried with it the transient ascent of Wonder's blockbuster achievement. It was a period of expectation with fans overall enthusiastically anticipating spin-offs that vowed to divulge a greater amount of the entrancing universe of Wakanda. In this realistic universe, Chadwick Boseman ruled as the Honorable Lord T'Challa with Angela Bassett close by as the magnificent sovereign Ramonda heads of the captivating illustrious family. However, at that point in August 2020, misfortune slid like a cover, projecting a pall over the Wonder universe and the hearts of fans wherever the unfavorable passing of Chadwick Boseman sent shockwaves through the world, passing on numerous to consider how the story would go on without its cherished hero. It fell upon Chief Ryan Coogler to explore the overwhelming errand of creating a continuation of Dark Jaguar without their honorable ruler. Thus, the excursion went on with Dark Jaguar Wakanda, everlastingly a film that would be perpetually set apart by the heaviness of misery on the set in the midst of the clear embroidery of Wakanda. The cast was constrained to explore the profundities of their distress as they set out on a storyline that shockingly reflected their own lives. Every day was an orchestra of tears, a demonstration of the significant feeling of misfortune that encompassed them. The very sets where they had remained with Boseman presently became stages for their aggregate grieving, a profound odyssey, as they looked to reignite the realistic splendor of their dearest story when Dark Jaguar Wakanda everlastingly was delivered in 2022. Angela Bassett, the Illuminator entertainer, by and by graced the screen with an uncommon depiction of the strong sovereign Ramonda in her exhibition Enchanting, which summoned quick Oscar transport. Angela Bassett, a veteran of cinema, had tracked this way before in the consecrated corridors of the Institute, where dreams and reality frequently unite. Angela Bassett had once remained as a candidate in 1994. Her remarkable depiction of Tina Turner had procured her a spot. Among the illuminating presences of her specialty at this point on that portentous night, the sought-after Oscar had evaded her grip. It was a snapshot of despair that had extended and stayed carved in the records of her process. Quick forward to 2023, and Angela Bassett's name graced the designations, this time for the renowned title of Best Supporting Entertainer. It was a second that blended the hearts of numerous who accepted that fate had at last lined up with her certain ability along the way to the Oscars. Bassett had gathered awards and praised a brilliant Globe grant for a pundit's decision. Grant each an image of her excellent masterfulness to the people who followed her excursion. Maybe the powers of Providence had lined up, proclaiming the appearance of her hotly anticipated Oscar win. When Jamie Lee Curtis was declared the champ, an aggregate heave of shock reverberated for the crowd, as some had expected. Angela Bassett's victory, directly following this questionable misfortune, the world saw a side of Angela Bassett seldom seen, a snapshot of unfiltered feeling. Her response, an unspoken demonstration of the significant frustration that can go with such occasions, became a web sensation in the quieted theater. She showed up too devastated to even think about hailing as Curtis advanced toward the stage. It was a strong update that even in the realm of narration, where dreams are woven into reality, few out of every odd section finish up true to form. Thank you for going along with us on this story experience, and we anticipate having you with us for the following spellbinding story up to that point. Continue to investigate the narratives that shape our reality. Thanks for watching this video.